What if I told you that everything you've been feeling guilty about, everything you regret, is not just a fleeting emotion? It's a poison silently killing your peace every single day. Most people live their lives carrying the weight of what could have been, replaying mistakes like an endless loop, believing that suffering through regret is somehow noble, that it's proof they care, proof they're human. But what if it's exactly the opposite? What if regret is a trap designed to steal your life, to rob you of the moments you still have, and the Stoics knew it thousands of years ago? Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, watching the sun rise, and realizing that the only thing heavier than the cliff itself is the regret you carry. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled an empire while mastering his own mind, once said, "The past has no power over you unless you give it power." But most of us give it power every day without even realizing it. We replay arguments, we mourn opportunities missed, we punish ourselves for decisions we made when we didn't have the wisdom we now claim to have. And here's the brutal truth. No amount of self-flagellation will undo the past. Regret does not honor mistakes, it magnifies them. The Stoics weren't delusional. They didn't pretend life would be flawless. They simply understood that peace is not found by dwelling on what cannot be changed. Peace is an active practice, a discipline, and a choice. Let me tell you the story of a man who nearly destroyed himself with regret. He was once a successful businessman, earning millions, admired by his peers, yet each night he'd lie awake, haunted by a single decision, a partnership he had ended too soon. He tortured himself, believing that this one choice defined his life. Then he discovered Stoicism. He learned to separate what is within his control from what is not. He realized that the partnership, once ended, was beyond his ability to change. The past is immutable. The present is mutable. He began focusing on what he could do now, repair relationships, innovate in his work, and live with integrity today. Slowly, the constant gnawing of regret loosened its grip. His nights became peaceful, his mornings energized. And the world didn't punish him for shifting his focus. It rewarded him with clarity, confidence, and resilience. That's the essence of the Stoic fix. It's not magic, it's practical, brutal, honest philosophy. Stoicism asks you to stare directly at your regret and say, "I see you, I acknowledge you, but you do not control me anymore." Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that. Every regret you cling to is not a reflection of your failure, it's a reflection of your willingness to give it power over your mind. The first step is awareness. Name your regret. Don't avoid it, don't sugarcoat it, don't push it aside. Look at it square in the face. Write it down if you must. See it for what it is, a thought about a past you cannot change. The second step is the Stoic separation of control. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Could I change it today if I wanted to? Most of the time the answer is no. And if the answer is no, Stoicism teaches you to let it go. Not because you're weak, not because you're ignoring responsibility, but because clinging to what cannot be changed is irrational. Peace is rational. Peace is disciplined. Peace is the ultimate reward for those who refuse to be enslaved by regret. But how do you act without being haunted? How do you honor mistakes without letting them define you? That's where the Stoic reframing comes in. Every regret, every misstep, every failure is raw material for growth. Seneca, the philosopher who taught about life's brevity, said, "Every man's life is a story in progress." Regret is simply a chapter, not the final line. You can write new chapters, you can act now, you can live now. Here's a practical exercise that Stoics used. Every night, reflect on the day and ask yourself, what did I do well? What did I fail at? What can I improve tomorrow? Then, and this is critical, release the failures. Close the ledger. Tomorrow is where your power lives, not yesterday. And if you're still finding yourself trapped, try visualizing the past as a river. You cannot step into the same water twice, and if you cling to the stones behind you, you will drown in the current. Let it flow. Let it move. Let it teach you without suffocating you. And I want to pause here for a moment. If this is hitting home, if you're feeling that gnawing regret that has been haunting you, take a second, hit that like button. This is not just support, it's a reminder to yourself that you're ready to reclaim your peace. Because liking this video is a small but symbolic first step toward controlling what is truly yours. Your present, your actions, your mind. The Stoics didn't promise a life without pain. They promised a life where you do not suffer unnecessarily. Regret is unnecessary suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering by choice, that is a trap you can escape. And the escape is in the mind. Imagine walking through a forest, each regret a tree blocking your path. You can't remove the trees behind you, they are rooted, but you can forge a path forward. You can weave between them, use them as markers, learn from them, and continue your journey. The Stoic exercises that work are deceptively simple. Reflection, journaling, separating control, negative visualization, and voluntary discomfort. Why? Because they train you to strengthen the mind, to armor your soul, and to see clearly the difference between what is yours and what is not. One of the most powerful Stoic tools is negative visualization. Imagine losing what you love. Imagine making mistakes. Imagine the worst outcomes. If not to depress yourself, but to prepare yourself. When the regret comes, it has less power because your mind has already rehearsed its release. You see, regret thrives on surprise, on the shock of realizing a choice was wrong. Stoicism neutralizes that shock. It transforms regret from a poison into a teacher. Now let's tackle the most common form of regret. People. Friends, lovers, colleagues, family. Relationships are where regret cuts deepest. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control others, we can control our own responses, our own choices, our own integrity. When a relationship fails, or someone betrays you, or love fades, the Stoic doesn't dwell in what should have been. They ask, what can I do now to live rightly, to act justly, to maintain peace in my heart? That's it. That's all the power you need. The last tool I want to share is the concept of Amor Fati, love of fate. Nietzsche later borrowed it, but the Stoics lived it. Amor Fati is embracing everything that happens, not merely tolerating it, but loving it as part of your path. Your regrets, your mistakes, your failures, they are not curses. They are lessons. They are fuel. They are shaping you into the person you need to become. Picture a sculptor chiseling a block of marble. Each regret is a chip falling away. It may sting at first, but it is creating form, revealing beauty hidden beneath. And the beauty is your peace, your wisdom, your resilience. So the question is not, how do I erase regret? The question is, how do I use it? How do I transform it into insight, into discipline, into strength? Because regret without transformation is wasted pain. Regret transformed is a masterclass in living. And here's the truth you can act on today. Write down your regrets, list them, examine them, decide which are within your control and which are not. Release what is not yours. For what is yours, take immediate, deliberate action. Do not postpone, do not linger, do not feed the poison. And if you do this consistently, slowly, daily, the heavy chains of regret will fall away, and you will experience what the Stoics prized above all, inner freedom. Inner freedom that no past mistake, no lost opportunity, no misstep can touch. You will still be human. You will still stumble, but you will no longer be enslaved. And as you start this journey, if you found value in these ideas, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, leave a comment about the regret you are letting go, and share this with someone who needs this wake-up call. Because peace is contagious, and wisdom multiplies when shared. Start today. Claim your present. Forgive your past, and step forward into life unchained, unburdened, and unstoppable.